Greenblood, my friend. My contacts have spoken.
Do you still think they should be held?
More than ever. I want to know what kind of... I want to know what these... But I fear if I go... I need the help of my...
How can I refuse such a...
Things are about to get dicey.
I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
Do you two know each other?
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small. And who are these people with you?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate.
And I'm Siora.
These people sure are important. So, What are you doing?
I've heard things about this place.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own...
That's very nice of you, but visitors... What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply?
Listen, Kurt. Anyway, knowing you as well as that... So, what would you like to...
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
Does this man not realize that I'm a Donegat?
I noticed you're a native, but you're a friend of Kurt's.
I see the reason for this kind of training, and yet I'd never heard of it.
We're still in the early stage, and our leaders demand...
This is a huge camp for such a secret
The
location.
main building is reserved for officers, and the front and rear of the camp are dedicated. But most exercises...
Impressive.
Only the best once they arrive, but you already...
Yes.
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructor.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we...
A kid I recruited.
Oh. I didn't know him. My condolences. I was...
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, the accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regret.
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the...
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well.
Lieutenant,
Respectfully, Captain.
here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. He would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sir.
How do the various squadrons in this...
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle.
Really?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand
That's strange. These skills are normally associated...
These skills are always useful.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details,
You mean to blindly follow orders?
but No. We also teach them to analyze situations.
How did you become an instructor in this?
I have led numerous squadrons before. I worked with Captain Rolf in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like
We
this...
can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Rainer.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the
The other lieutenant's squadron.
Yes. I'm sorry. Haven't been much...
He died. His body was thrown in.
I guess it was one of your recruits.
We'll question some of your...
At your orders, but please be...
Hello, soldier.
Captain? Of course, sire.
How would you describe...
Yes, we do.
Really?
Problems remembering things?
No, Captain.
What's it like in your...
Very good.
Do you trust your...
We're like 5 fingers on one hand, sir.
You've sure got them.
Yes, Captain.
We've learned that a recruit died in an accident.
No.
That's strange.
If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to...
He seems afraid.
No. It's not that.
Very well.
Excellence.
These kids are scared to death.
Yes. This boy's answers about...
Soldier. At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, sir.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question.
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test.
Well, training is difficult.
That's an... You're very united in this.
United.
That's rather sinister.
Yeah. Well, no.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid?
No. Well, and we're lucky to have the lieutenant as our instructor.
We should leave this soldier.
Your name, soldier.
Wilhelm. First-class recruit.
Keep it up, Bill.
This recruit, Wilhelm, in spite of himself, led on more than the others.
His resentment is clear. But he won't divulge anything as long as his instructors are nearby.
Lieutenant,
Captain.
my
At your orders, Captain.
Can you tell us about your
The
squad?
recruits who... I don't know what else to... Exactly what you'd expect.
What kind of training?
Combat in natural settings.
I'm very curious about how you train.
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers.
That's a pity.
I heard the recruit...
Oh, he was a good one.
So we've heard. Your captain told us he died
The
during...
training we do outside... Unfortunately, Rayner fell to his death in a ravine.
He fell.
During a simulated ambush. I know, it's not glorious, but I'd like to get back to work now, if you'll allow it, Captain.
Go on. We're gonna go
I
to...
hope that it won't take too long.
We'll be quick.
The story about training against magic is a lie. This lieutenant has no idea what he's talking about.
So what could they be training recruits for here, then?
I don't know. But whatever it is... Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
Eddie.
Me? At your orders,
You look exhausted.
It's difficult at first, but you get...
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never done...
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling. The strength of the...
What is that?
Our squadrons, Captain.
You seem concerned about your comrade.
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might...
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squad.
Since this is such a close...
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the squadron anymore.
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Rayner left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's no...
Sorry, mate, but that's not what happened.
I don't know anything more.
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, sire. Captain?
Lieutenants! Report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the... I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we...
We are on duty.
Right, Lieutenant.
I...
Are you...
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take it.
As you like.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she...
If you noticed, others will have too.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can... What's really going...
This is supposed to be a training camp. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense... That's what we're told every day.
Tell me about the training you...
It's more torture than... We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint, they even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our head...
And they call us barbarians.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Rayner, do you know what...
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call the weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat. If we refuse, we too become the targets. If you're looking to punish Rayner's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back...
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Rayner.
We understand the risk you've taken.
Thank you. Really.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Wilhelm has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They're humiliated. Raynor wouldn't stand for these methods.
Are you sure he used that?
Yes. But he told me it's not really training. That recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them.
You knew about this kind of...
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the past.
I'm so sorry.
I scouted out the site. There's 2 parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refuse.
You're full of anger, Sengots.
Let's wait for night. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised, but it says that the recruits trained here have been... And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been...
So Torsten knew.
So it seems.
He's gone too far. He dishonored... Locked.
This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
These people have turned this place into a site of suffering. It will take years of work to erase its traces.
This document explains a lot. Rainer shows up on this list more than once.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf?
Kurt. Wilhelm's name was added to...
That's the young man who helped us, isn't it?
We can't let them kill him.
The risk is that Rolf...
If this boy dies because of us... I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You surprise me once again, Kurt. You're full of compassion for these youngsters.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more.
I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You surprise me once again, Kurt. You're full of compassion for these youngsters.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more. It's blocked. Despite what Wilhelm told me, I wasn't expecting this. He's getting destroyed.
They'll kill him. We can't let them get away with it.
Come on, if you're there, if you're there.
Let's see what you're capable of. Come on. Let's see what you're capable of.
If you're there.
Come on. Let's see what you're capable of.
Come on, if you're there.
Stop! We won't let you kill this boy like you killed Rainer.
Soldiers! Do you realize...
Captain? But...
You shouldn't be here. This time, you...
Do you know what happens to those who die in this regiment? Their bodies are thrown out like... If you die here, you'll die without glory. I doubt that's what they promised you when you...
No.
A good soldier doesn't fight for glory.
Really? Then the Guard really has... Did you recruits leave your families to end up lynched and thrown into...
No. You're right, Captain.
Traitors. Cat. From the Dara Grimaderendan.
Will you be all right?
I'm wounded, but I'll survive.
Come, Wilhelm. We'll help you get home.
I'm counting on you to bring him back to the camp in...
Yes, Captain.
Well then, let's go. We go. Let's hope that Rolf didn't hear the sounds of combat. Surprise is our best ally.
You're right. Let's try to approach discreetly. It's blocked.
Nobody saw us. All we have to do is ambush them in the pit. Rolf, you bastard! How could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made.
Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We're doing our best to avoid a fight, to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
Put your weapons down and no one will get hurt.
Really? What do you think will happen when High Command learns you'll be considered traitors?
Death is all that awaits.
It was nearly Wilhelm's turn tonight. It could have been any of you.
Lies! Only the weak fall. So we must prove...
Nonsense. I've seen more combat than any of you, and I've seen hundreds of soldiers die. I've seen this kind of camp before, full of torture and sadistic officers. But I was wrong. So help me make sure this camp really is...
You're right, Captain. If we don't put down our weapons, this will never end.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Their training wasn't finished, Captain. And the speeches were so...
Silence! Where is this second squadron? Should have been...
They're not coming, Rolf.
They surrendered too. It would appear that you're...
Now that you no longer have lackeys to send after us, Rolf, you'll have to...
I've dreamt of shutting that big mouth.
No magic left. Drink up.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you. Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes.
What about you, Wilhelm?
Thank you for saving my life.
I hope you can forget all of...
I don't know if you'll be able to...
I've been in your shoes on other nights.
While we wait for this camp to close for good, you'll soon receive your transfer...
At your orders, Captain.
Glad it's you, Wilhelm.
You'll stay here for now. I'll send...
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't... He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't...
There's no use brooding over the past.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my...
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew...
We put an end to it all. We had...
I told you that the commander's ambition would end and that we would pay the...
Yes. At the time,
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinder.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are...
I know.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting.
Believe me, he won't get away with it.
Goodbye, Kurt.